This is 100.5 NTA News.
News time is 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ken DeCoster. The city of Rockford declares a snow emergency. Crews continue to plow the arterials. Motorists should drive a safe distance behind the snowplows. Residential streets are snow-covered and slippery. Vehicles should be parked on the even-numbered side of residential streets. Rockford police reported a number of minor crashes last night and this morning. Well, more violent protests are rocking Kabul, Afghanistan today, despite President Obama's apology over the Koran burning incident in Afghanistan. It's that apology that's raised the ire of Republican White House candidate Newt Gingrich. Addressing supporters in Washington state, Gingrich said President Obama had essentially surrendered. Start making plans to either say goodbye to online access to Gannett's 80 U.S. newspapers or to pay up in the future. The largest U.S. newspaper chain plans to start charging for online access by the end of this year. The exception will be its flagship, USA Today. Gannett expects the move will bring in an additional $100 million annually, beginning in 2013. The forecast is coming up.
Here's today's weather from 13 WREX.
Too few people realize that heart disease is the #1 killer of women. But the good news is heart disease largely can be prevented. Heart disease and strokes are the greatest threats women face, but a relatively small percentage of women are aware of it. Learn the symptoms. The Heart Hospital at Swedish American encourages you to take heart in women's health. Learn more online at b103fm.com. February is Heart Month, so go red for women with the American Heart Association, the Heart Hospital at Swedish American, and B103.
Sassy! Sassy!
This week's episode, Trouble on Rock Hill.
Ain't nothing like running up and down Rock Hill. Hey, let's move this rock. Whoa! Sassy! Johnny's stuck under that rock. Yeah, girl, go tell Mr. Gunderson to bring his truck. You'll tell him, but only after you dispel a stereotype associated with shelter pets? People think shelter pets come with lots of initial veterinary costs?
It's dusty under here.
But in reality, most shelter pets have been vaccinated, neutered, and microchipped in case they get lost?
My pants ripped.
Sassy, Johnny needs help. What Johnny really needs is more discipline and better parental supervision? You use big words, Sassy.
Still under the rock.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
Per month for house finance against 22912.
When you need to know, when you want to share, and when it affects you, Rockford's place to talk is 100.5 NTA FM.
Nobody's saying you can't own a gun. Nobody's even saying you can't carry a gun. All we're saying is you can't carry a gun in town.
Welcome to the State Line Showcase on the all-new 100.5 NTA FM. State Line Showcase is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views shared during State Line Showcase may not directly reflect those of the staff and management of 100.5 NTA FM.
And welcome. Yeah, did I hear you cock that rifle? I thought I heard that. Yeah, there you go. Ready to rock. And we've got probably our newest and probably most interesting new sponsor on the show. I was talking to one of the salespeople in the office. I said, I don't think I've ever done a first show with somebody that got more reaction and more phone calls than what you got on your first week here. It was just amazing.
Guns are hot.
Well, it's a hot issue, yes.
Yes, indeed.
And we're talking to Jim Madison, a long-distance relative of the Madison clan.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, too. Now, we're talking today about a lot of things, but I want you to know first the number is 874-TALK, 874-8255. Tim, that preceded you here, was a big fan of, he says, I thought this state didn't even have a gun shop. He's been here a while, and he's for concealed carry, and he doesn't understand why we're the only state without it, etc. So he's in your camp.
Yes, sir.
And he asked me where your shop was, so I told him. Anyway, we're here. Jim and his son Steve and your wife, they're all involved in the business. Family affair. And let's start off with the fact that I am owner of a couple of rifles and shotguns, and I don't hunt anymore. And I thought, well, they may be a collectible value, and yet I don't want to keep them. Maybe I do. I don't know. Either way, I want to have them, checked out. I'm going to bring them down to see you. I'll also see what you think they're worth. I might sell them to you, but you do pay cash for used guns and gun-related items, right?
Yes, Doug. What we do is people just literally walk your gun in the door. If you need help with it out of your car, what have you, we have people that show up with 10 guns in the trunk of their car. They're like, look, we inherit them, we don't want them, and we'll absolutely pay cash. We'll appraise them on the spot free of charge. Just give you an idea, what the guns are worth, what we'll pay. Realistically, we like to buy at like 70%, so we can make some money on them too. And
you make house calls?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
We got callers waiting for already. So
okay.
how popular you are.
Oh, great, Doug.
Let's start with Joe. Joe at 8:35. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know anything about guns. Do you have the facilities out there to teach me how to use and care for a gun?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've got a certified NRA instructor that works for us. We have an indoor range there. You show up, we can walk you through what you're maybe going to be looking at. A lot of people want to maybe test a few before they shoot them or before they buy them, and that's very doable. And we're more than glad to help you out.
Thank you very much for that.
Thanks,
okay.
Joe. Ken, you're next on NTFM. Ken, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I got a 357, and I got 2 clips with it. Now, they're trying to tell me my clips, I can't use them because they hold more than 12 shots at a time.
They're telling you that because of legality reasons or functioning reasons?
I don't know, because it'll hold. I think it holds 16, and I fired 3 clips through it, and then I go to buy some more, and they said no, you can't put that many into a clip.
Well, you bring it out and we'll get a look at it. There's something going on there. If the clip will hold 16, it'll certainly work with 16. Sometimes a clip will hold 16 and it's only meant to hold 15, and you'll know it. You'll have a problem right off the bat. So some you can squeeze an extra one in that you just really didn't need to put that last one in. You'll know. But bring it out. We'll tell you for sure.
Yeah, because now they were trying to tell me it's against the law to have that many shells in a clip.
No, law did change. That's an old law that it was a temporary law actually that came under the Clinton administration. They had a ban on magazine capacity. That was a law that was only a 10-year law, and the law expired, and it's totally legal now.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
And for callers, I think we should tell where you are.
Yeah, I'm in the corner of Harlem and Alpine. I'm a block east of that intersection on the north side of the road at 2100 Harlem Road.
Let's go to caller Eugene. Good morning.
Hey, thanks for correcting him. It is a magazine, not a clip.
Yeah.
But that was an assault weapon ban, which was in effect. But I want to ask you a question because I'm for it, but I have some premonition about it. I was in a store the other day, and I was behind a lady. She kept looking back at me, and she ran into a freezer right there with me, and I walked up to her. I said, you gotta watch where you're going. Just back off. That's the type of person I don't want to have a gun. They're scary people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because I don't care how much you train them, they dangerous with a gun.
Yep, some people can. Yep. Proper training is definitely required.
Mental and the physical training.
Absolutely, Doug.
Yeah. Thank you, Eugene. 838, 100.5 NTA FM, McDuff from downtown Studio One on our Friday show. I'll be back to work Tuesday, taking a long weekend off. I'll see you next Tuesday, but I'm here till 9 o'clock, so give us a call. The subject today is the Bullet Stop Gun Shop, but not just the store. The store is obviously why he's here, to talk about his store and the fact that they will buy used guns, gun-related items, ammo, hunting supplies, military goods, reloading supplies. And by the way, a question I was going to ask you, he already answered it here. You don't need the FOID card to sell at the gun shop.
No, you sure don't. A lot of people, like I say, inherited guns or run into them where, look, we just don't want them in the house anymore. Some people's FOID cards expire, and they go, look, I've not hunted in years. I don't know what I want to do here. So they, instead of renewing a FOID, they like to sell their guns. And we do consign guns. That'll get you a little more money. So, you get your guns to me, and I certainly can help you out and give you an idea.
Our number, 874-TALK, 874-8255, should you have a gun-related question. If you're talking about concealed carry, I know we beat that subject to death sometimes on the radio, but a lot of us are for it. It doesn't seem to be happening in this state. And as long as we have Chicago running the state and Governor Quinn in office and the mayor of Chicago, I don't think it'll happen in this state.
It's a tough deal here.
It's going to be a tough road to hoe. I don't care how many downstaters from Cairo to Rockford might want it.
Yep.
If you don't get Chicago and St. Clair County on board, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's the fact of life.
Absolutely.
But people should speak up. 840. NTA FM, if you want a question answered about guns in this gun shop. By the way, the Bullet Stop Gun Shop is the sponsor. You can go to bulletstopguns.com or gunmansgym.com. So, wait, I'll make sure I say it right. Bulletstopguns.com or gunmansgym.com. Or you can call the store. I decided yesterday to tell them where we'd be today, 654-7550. And you might find the phone number might be busy. It's a busy business you're in.
It's a busy store.
I had to dial about 10, 20 times to get and I should have just used the website, but I was on the phone and I figured I'd call you, let you know where to be today for the show. And Steve, of course, is there, and your lovely bride. And is Steve's birthday today?
Steve's birthday is today.
Do you want to say happy birthday to him?
Yeah, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah, Steve is 30th birthday today, and
I got ties older than him, but
you suppose I should give him the day off?
I think it'd be nice, but I can't tell you how to run your business.
I told him, to get over there this morning and get that snow dug out, and then he can take the day off.
Yeah, we had an interesting situation here. I know you probably noticed it. The kid came to shovel next door and the other side, and he left ours with snow in front of this building, and I don't understand it because the same guy owns the whole building. He might have seen us in here and figured, well, they must be different owners or something. And it's kind of funny. So if you're listening, kid, come back and shovel in front of our place.
I think, Doug, it could be stage fright.
It could be. These lights,
yeah. He sees you in here. Just, he doesn't want you to talk about it.
That's right. 841, McDuff downtown at Studio One. You want to give us a jingle? 874-TALK, 874-8255. Second week is a sponsor on our show. We're talking to Jim Madison. They're open today from 10 to 6, tomorrow 10 to 5, even Sunday from 10 to 2. If you've never been up there, you want to see it and look around, as I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my guns up there, and if I do nothing else, I'll have them clean them and check them out for, and maybe sell them. I don't know, but we'll see. And the handguns, of course, they have a 50-foot indoor pistol range. You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, the range was put in the late 80s. My dad built that range, and it's a very nice range. It's small. We never book people with strangers. If you come and want to bring your wife to shoot, it'll be you and your wife. You're not going to be on my range with somebody next to you blazing away with a 44 mag. It'll be your range for that hour. And we feel it's a lot safer, more controlled environment, but it's a nice place to teach people how to shoot. And that range is booked every day with our instructors. They teach them at night in there, and it's a nice facility.
Very good, very good. 8:42 in the morning. If you have any questions about the Bullet Stop Gun Shop, been in business a long time, and it's a family business. You said your dad was in it. The Madison family been in the gun business a long time. The name is well known.
Yeah. My grandfather started in 57, and Dad started in 67, and then I took over in 88.
And Steve someday takes it over?
Yeah, that'll be the plan. I'd like to think I'd be to a warmer climate someplace selling guns, maybe.
Maybe Missouri?
Absolutely.
You have that other store down there, yeah. Where is the store? When I go down to Missouri, where is that store?
Northern Missouri, right on the Iowa line.
Okay, because I do get to Missouri quite a bit. There's more to talk about here. We're talking about, as we started off talking about, they will pay cash for used guns, gun-related items, ammo, hunting supplies, military goods, reloading supplies. You don't need a FOID card. Come into the store up on Harlem Road near
Alpine. Black East Alpine.
Yeah, and they're open today from 10 to 6, tomorrow 10 to 5, and Sunday 10 to 2. Now, here's a deal. And I want you to spell this one out because you know more about your products than I do. So what's today's special?
Well, today we're going to do a deal on Rock Island Armory. It's a 1911 45, just like the old military gun that was used in World War II. This is a brand new gun that has wooden grips. It has a Parker Ice finish, 45 ACP. These are great guns. We had a sale last week. We sold 55 of these last week.
Wow.
We have 6 left over in our sale. So if anybody comes in the store today and say they heard it on NTA, they can absolutely get the sale price at $385. Our regular price is $529, so $385 is a steal, and there's 6 left, so pop in today. We'll certainly give you the deal on those. And
that's a 45?
45 ACP, just like they would have in the military. Yeah,
very, very good. And there's a gun show Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday we're going to be at the Pine Tree Pistol Club is sponsoring a gun show at the Forest Hills Lodge. and Bullet Stop will have a booth there. There'll be probably 60, 80 other gun dealers there, but we'd like to think we got the hot deal. So please come compare, check out our show specials. My son will be there, I'll be there, and we'll be ready to rock and roll at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Forest Hills Lodge on 173.
Yeah, you got
Opens
it.
at 8 in the morning.
Yes,
The
sir,
Bullet Stop will have hot show specials on display, so check it out.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they just said, according to my producer, would you please get me one as a late Christmas gift, Uncle Dougie? All right, Timmy. It sounds like a plan. Thank you. By the way, if you have a question about guns and law, etc., you can call us at 874-TALK, 874-8255. Sam, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. I had a question. It's been like 7 weeks now since I applied for a FOID card. How long does that usually take?
Well, that's a good question. The state of Illinois is way behind on cards. The other day they were telling me to tell my customers any sooner than 70 days is too soon to check on your card. Illinois is just, I'm not sure they've been as far behind as they are right now on FOIDs, but really 6 to 8 weeks is really the norm right now on FOID cards.
Yeah, because I did see that my check went through and everything like that.
They're very quick at cashing the check, but they're really slow at processing the rest of it.
It sounds like Illinois.
Yes, sirree.
Another question about using your range.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible? I got a gun for my father-in-law, a pistol.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible to rent time and come in and know the ins and outs of that?
Well, what we do with our range is actually set up to be like a private range, and this is how it works. If you buy a gun from me, you can shoot it any time for $10 an hour. If you bought it someplace else, you need to make special reservation with one of the employees to maybe get some training before you can use my range. But typically speaking, if you buy a gun, we make sure you know how to use it, and then we're comfortable using the gun on our range at any time.
Because I don't know, my father-in-law lives in the park, and I don't know, he might have even bought the gun.
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely look into that for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Sam. 846. If you have a question about guns or laws or FOID cards or, taking the lessons or using the range, give us a call. We've got Jim Madison here from the Bullet Stop Gun Shop, a second week of his sponsorship on 100.5 NTA FM. If you have a question, he's here till almost 9 o'clock. Give him a call. These shows are informational shows, and we feel that there are never any dumb questions, just unanswered ones, and that's why we do these shows for a lot of areas of life, whether it be health or cars or guns or whatever. Our number, 874-TALK, 874-8255, McDuff in the morning from downtown. 1-815-874-TALK, 1-815-874-8255 is the number. At 8:47 in the morning, we appreciate your calls. And Jim's here to answer your questions, too. There are always people that are on the periphery, maybe never been to a gun shop, maybe thinking about their own self-protection. And what are the laws we don't have concealed carry, we know that. We get a lot of calls, and I want to know your opinion on this because I really don't know the answer. What are the rules about you're protecting yourself? You have a gun, you're in your own house. They haven't taken that away from us yet. You can still do that.
Absolutely.
What are the rules, though, about how you can use a gun in your own home?
Well, Doug, that's a pretty gray area, but I know for sure you can have a loaded gun in your home. You can wear it on your belt in a holster in your home or in your place of business. And if you own a business, you certainly can have a gun on your hip in plain sight where everybody can see to deter crime. But the problem with that in a lot of places, it alarms some people, and it deters customers sometimes.
Sure.
If you go to Highlander and the meat guy's got a gun on his hip, you're going not wild about that, So,
yeah.
But back to the original question, some people think, well, he's got to be in the house before you can defend yourself. That's a really tough call. It really is. An attorney in the law is really a tough deal to answer. But you're totally legal to have a cased unloaded gun in your car. No loaded guns are allowed in your car in the state of Illinois. A lot of customers are carrying loaded guns in their cars, and I'm just cautioning them to be careful.
When I was a hunter for pheasants and other things, I never went big game, but I had pheasants and ducks and rabbits and squirrel and a lot of things in Illinois and Missouri, and I always kept my shotgun obviously taken apart in the car, or if I had it in the case, it had no ammo in it, but it was in the case and locked. That's legal, isn't it?
Absolutely. The way they do it. Yep.
That hasn't changed.
Not at all.
I stopped hunting about 15 years ago. Tyrone has a question. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I have a different kind of a question here about guns. I know that during World War II, they still used Springfield rifles. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, what kind of a rifle was it that they used during World War II? It was a bolt-action rifle.
Right. It was a 1903 Springfield 30-06 bolt-action type rifle.
Yeah, unlike a Springfield, though, this rifle had like a magazine underneath it, plus the bolt. It was like a slight magazine, though.
Well, I tell you, I'm not familiar with anything that they used during World War II that had a magazine. Prior to that, of course, early World War I would have been the Craig rifle with a side-type magazine, but as far as a bottom-type magazine in World War II, I'm not familiar with anything unless it was converted or, altered later on.
Told me that it could have been a rifle. It could have been a rifle that Sergeant York actually used, which was called an Enfield.
Uh-huh.
Now, would that have had a slight magazine underneath it?
No, they're what they call an internal box magazine. They're still loaded through the top,
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, boy, this rifle had a bolt and a magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. You have to do some research on that. I'm not familiar with anything used in World War II that took a detachable magazine.
Thank you, Tyrone. Appreciate your call. Let's go to Bob at 8:50 in the morning from downtown Rockford, Studio 1 on 100.5 NTA FM with the gun guy from Bullet Stop Gun Shop, Jim Madison, talking to Bob. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I had a question on sporterizing old rifles and wondering if Jim had any interesting anecdotes of guys that he's stopped them because they were going to cut up and put goofy accessories on weapons that were just too old and valuable, or if there were anything from these cheaper rifles that he recommends guys do.
Well, let me tell you, good question, Bob. Let me tell you, a lot of people take their grandpa's 1903 Springfield, like the previous caller talked about, and they take that gun and they start sanding on it and polishing on it, thinking, well, I'm going to make this look really nice, and indeed they're ruining it. It's like if Grandpa had a 57 Chevy that was like new in the garage, last thing you want to do is cut a big hole in the dash and put a radio in it, It's like you don't want to ruin the originality of any firearm. If you're in doubt at any time, bring it out. We'll be more than glad to appraise it, because I'll tell you, I've seen so many what I call butcher jobs where they'll take some $1,000 gun and they'll start working on it and turn it into a $150 gun, And Doug, you were talking last week about an old shotgun that you had.
Yeah.
You talked about maybe wanting to reblue it or something.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is reblue your old gun. Really, leave it original. A 100-year-old gun really does. I want to see a 100-year-old gun look like a 100-year-old gun.
Well, it was reblued once when I first bought it. Does that hurt it?
It does.
It cost me a little value of the gun then.
Right. The collectors really want the guns that are original finish. So people that start sanding and playing with them. But way back in the 50s, people got out of the military, they took their guns home from them after the World War II.
Right.
And in the 50s, they'd sand on them guns and work on them guns and turn them into something they could hunt with. Well, they didn't know back then that
That's exactly what I bought the gun.
Right. But I'll tell you what, there are guns out there that are inexpensive military rifles that I sell for like $119 that are great guns you can go home and cut and mill and play on, and you're not harming anything. Where the true collectibles, they're drying up.
Well, for hunters, too, hunters don't particularly... My gun is probably more of a collectible gun in a way, because hunters don't seem to want the old double-barrel shotgun anymore. They want the repeat, much more rounds. Double barrel requires, obviously, each side has a shell, and you take it out and you flip. I just love the gun.
Yep.
And it's like a historical thing, but I don't have any kids or grandkids that seem to show any interest in hunting, so either I put it up on the wall or something or sell it.
Yep.
I don't know what. Anyway, that's another issue for me. We've got a few minutes left. If you got about 7 minutes left, if you want to call quick and talk to Jim Madison of the Bullet Stop, he's here at 874-TALK, 874-8255, answering any questions you might have. Man, and I'd like to hear from a woman.
I was just thinking, we had a gal last week. We'd like to hear a gal maybe call.
Once in a while, it would be nice, because I know women are very much into defense these days, and into. In your business, you see more and more of it. They want to get defense and want to learn how to use a gun properly, etc. So if there's any women, or men, I don't care, but I'd like to hear a woman call up too that believes in self-defense and finds out that mace you carry in your purse doesn't really work real well. The stuff you buy from the locksmiths isn't. Somebody told me in the area you're much better off with a can of bug spray.
It'll buy you time to run.
Yeah,
that's about it.
That's about it. Anyway, our number is 874-TALK. Let's go to one of your fellow residents from the area, Cheesehead Chuck from the North End. Cheesehead, good morning.
Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing okay, Chuck. How's things?
I'm just on my way back from Old Hell Airport. Dodging semis and snowflakes. How you been?
I think I'm going to be okay. How about you, Chuck?
Well, you got a particular item up there I'm really interested in. I'm going to get a chance to step up and take a look at it.
I see.
You always have something on it.
So you called to talk a gun deal then?
We're dealing.
Well, Jim's tried to put me to work once, but I didn't stay out of there.
So, Chuck, you going to the gun show this weekend?
Yes, indeed. I got to come in here 7 to 10, but I'll be there after that.
Chuck, you'd be welcomed at that gun show at about 6 a.m. when I'm unloading that big truck full of guns there. If you want to come down and roll up your sleeves, we could use a hand, and it'll get you your free admission in the door. You know.
If you just dialed in, that gun show Sunday, Forest Hills Lodge, beginning at 8 o'clock for customers.
Yeah, that's a nice show. I get to one every chance I get.
Geez, thank you. I got to get some other calls.
Well, I just want to tell the people around Rockford, this is one of the nicest guys. His family is amazing. They're really good people. Go do business with Madison Gun Shop.
Thank you, Chuck.
Very good. 8:55. Let's go to Carrie, then Randy. Carrie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I just wondered if Jim would explain to people how hard it is and almost impossible if you wanted to own like a full automatic weapon and the difference, because everybody thinks, every gun that you pull the trigger each time is a full auto instead of semi-auto.
That's a great question because
license and stuff like that.
Yeah, the media will show an AK-47 picked up at a crime scene and say it was a machine gun, and machine guns haven't been legal since the 20s, so it's not like these are just floating around town here, and there's special licensing to own a machine gun. Now the gangbangers running around town shooting these guns, truly, they don't have machine guns either. They have semi-autos. There's no full auto guns floating around. It truly is one bullet for every one pull of the trigger. It's not like you hold the trigger and out they come, and special licensing is required, and it's sad that the media portrays a semi-auto as a full auto, but it's true. It happens a lot, and it's hard on the gun owners and our industry.
All right, thank you, Kerry. Let's go to Randy. Randy, good morning.
Good morning. I just have a quick question. Do you offer Utah conceal and carry class?
I do not. I do Wisconsin, Utah carry permits. I just don't do. I'm just now doing Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a very lax permit type requirement. You have to have some form of firearms trading, so that's what we're doing. But Utah, I do not. I know if you contact Pine Tree Pistol Club in Rockford, there is somebody that works over at Pine Tree that is teaching Utah permits about every 60 days over there.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks for the call.
Explain that to me. I'm totally novice about this.
Utah, if you get a Utah permit, it'll be issued to an Illinois resident. Okay, so you can actually take a course where you get a Utah permit, and then you're good in like 30 states, 32 states, something like that. And then you can carry a gun when you're vacationing or what have you and be legal.
Gotcha. Once again, we've got a couple minutes to go. If you have a quick question, 874-TALK, 874-8255. We've had a multitude of calls on the various topics, and that's good. If you have ever a question when he does these shows, you're coming back next week. I don't know what day. But
I'm not sure. I think it could be Thursday.
We'll let you know, folks. But he'll be back with us. And if you have a question, 874-TALK, 874-8255. Lines are open. Otherwise, I want to point out that they're buying used guns, gun-related items, ammo, hunting supplies, military goods, reloading supplies. You don't need a FOID card to sell. Come to their house, or they'll go to your house and pick it up. Go to bulletstopguns.com or call 815-654-7550. They're open today, 10 to 6, tomorrow, 10 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 2. And don't forget today's deal. Rock Island Armory, 1911-45, like the old military guns, brand new. You heard it on the radio? You pay only $385 instead of $529. Now, there's a deal for my listeners. Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
Bob, leave us? Okay. We'll forget Bob, and if there's any other callers, quickly we'll put them through at 874-TALK, 874-8255. And the gun show this Sunday. Oh, you're there now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick question about a gun I read about some time ago that had some sort of a built-in safety that would allow the gun only to be shot by somebody who had some kind of an RFID in their hand or in a ring or something.
No, I have heard of that. It's kind of a concept right now. California's been been working on maybe trying to pass legislation to where if you had this particular ring on and you held the gun would not function unless the ring was on. So in other words, if a different person picked up that gun, it would not work. It would only work, so basically it would be like the chip in the key of your car. You could have the exact key, but if you didn't have that chip, it wouldn't run.
Thank you, Bob. I'm going to try and get Kelly on here real quick. Kelly, good morning.
Hi, it's Sally, actually.
We got our woman. Hooray.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah. I stopped in last week, and we were talking about the MDX, I believe, or DSM, I don't know, something like that, 45.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned today there's a sale for that military gun.
Yes.
Are those pretty comparable?
Yes, they are. The only difference is they do hold less rounds. The old military guns hold 7 and 8 rounds, where the newer guns hold more, but these have slender grips. You might like it better.
I might. Okay, well, I'll come in today and we'll check it out.
We hope to see you.
Thank you. You pay only $385 if you mention NTA FM. It's usually 529. That's, of course, at the Bullet Stop Gun Shop up on Harlem Road. And call them first if you like. Their number is 654-7550. Go so quick when you're here. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Okay, Doug, you have a nice day.
McDuff, I'll see you. I'm taking a long weekend off. I'll be back Tuesday. McDuff in the morning, 100.5 NTA FM. Bye-bye.